I'm going to go straight into this one because it's not like YouTube. I'm going to tell you to subscribe and then tell you about ads at the start of it. I'm just going to go straight into this one. The top 3 mistakes you're making when trying to gain size. Probably, maybe. Go. Number 1, cardio. Now, cardio is great. Cardio is great for losing weight, trying to get that more lean look. It's also great for blood flow, for recovery, especially on your off days. It helps blood flow around to the circulation of the body, helps recovery. Also good to practice your cardiovascular system so you don't get out of breath while doing sets and stuff. Because obviously if you get out of breath before muscle failure, you're not going to grow muscle. But cardio can be quite detrimental in many different ways, especially the high impact cardio. So I talk to a lot of guys that want to put a lot of mass on. I want to get big. And they're doing weight training and they're doing heavy lifting. But on the flip side, on Wednesdays and Saturdays, they're running 5Ks. You're losing muscle and it's unneeded energy expenditure. What would be lovely is a nice cup of tea, a couple of biscuits, and a slow pace on the treadmill. A key thing would be in the mornings. Low impact cardio works well. A slight walk like this is perfect not to tap into too much muscle reserves. So your body will use muscle as fuel. If you do any sort of high impact cardio that covers intense recovery to recover from, it's going to use a lot of muscle in the flip turn. Now, you may burn a lot of calories, but if you're looking to try to gain size and muscle, it's not great. Another key component for this is due to the cortisol levels. Early morning intense cardio, your cortisol levels do rise phenomenally. Cortisol rises is going to cancel out any weight loss, but more importantly, it's going to cancel out any muscle growth as well. You want to keep those stress levels down. This is for natural lifters, as we are, of course. Someone on gear and steroids would be very different. Their cortisol receptors would be much lower. They could probably get away with quite intense cardio in the mornings. But for us naturals, we got to do everything we can to maximize muscle growth. Therefore, low impact cardio. A good thumb rule when you start to get severely out of breath, like I'm being able to talk to you right now, that's kind of steady state enough cardio. You should roughly be able to hold a conversation with anyone without drastically getting out of breath. Now, you may get a bit quicker breath, that's fine. But if you find yourself talking to someone while doing steady state cardio and you start getting that you can't talk at all, for me, that's a good thumb rule, too much cardio. So what I'm saying is, do the heavy lifting and just take it easy, man. Take it easy. So take it easy. Ooh, look at that, 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 look at that. Number 2 is food. Food, of course it's gonna be food. A lot of, another common thing with a lot of skinny guys, when you wanna gain size or muscle, is you always say, I'm eating everything, I'm still not gaining weight. Then you sort of ask them, what are you eating? What are you eating? What exactly is it you're putting in your gob? And it usually is the question of, oh, well, everything I'm eating, trying to gain weight, I'm eating McDonald's, I'm eating pizzas and stuff. Generally, what your aim here is, you're not looking to just put on anything. You're not just looking to put on fat. Your key component, what your target here is, I'm assuming while you're watching the video, is to put on what? Muscle, size. So you need food that's calorie dense, that you can eat a lot of more frequently, but it's nutriently high. So I fucked that up. Nutriently dense and the calories on it are quite low. So a chicken breast, for example, is perfect. I know it's boring, it's like fucking chicken, man. But chicken's a perfect example. 200 grams of chicken is roughly around about 42 grams of protein and around about 200 calories. That's very low and you're getting a high return on your micronutrients. The 2 micronutrients to pay really close attention to would be protein and fats. The protein is going to allow you, is the building blocks of muscle. It's going to allow you to put the actual muscle on. But the monofats, specifically monofats, the likes of your whole eggs, your olive oil, your avocados, your peanut butters, your almond nuts, they're great. That usually raises a lot of profiles in terms of strength gains and recovery. Some eggs even amps up the transfer of testosterone around the body. So fats and proteins are your 2 key micronutrient components. Eating a McDonald's or eating a pizza, you're not going to get much of that through. You may get a lot of calories, but in my eyes, they're quite negative, shitty calories. And if you're a skinny guy already, or skinny girl, the chances are that your metabolism is quite fast. So it doesn't really kind of matter if you eat them foods, you're not going to put much weight on. You need to eat more frequent foods. Every 2.5 hours, eat some sort of meal that you're getting high nutrients back from. Now at the end of the night, certainly, have your cheat meals, have your pizzas, your Chineses, your McDonald's, if you feel you want to gain that extra bit and try to put on a bit more calories. But realistically, all it's going to do is kind of put more fat on you than anything. And you want to put size on. And I'm assuming you train at the same time, so put quality shit in your body. Food. Stop eating your fast foods. Nutriently dense foods and more of them. Let the insulin spike up and down all day long and be plentiful. Number 3, your training program. Okay, so number 3 is your training program. How hard are you physically training? Now, there's a few key factors here. First of all, what I would say is, it's the program you got right for your body type. That's probably the most common one. It's not as easy just to go with, well, there's a simplistic manner to build muscle. It is quite simple. You aggressively lift heavy things, your body will respond, granted that you're feeding it the right nutrients. However, there is certain modules and programs that are sort of best suited to one's body type. As natural lifters, we really have a time clock here in the gym. We have around about 40 minutes to 50 minutes to maybe 60 minutes until while the body is being anabolic, where the body is receptive to building muscle and burning fat. And then it starts to go to a catabolic stage where it starts to burn muscle as your fuel source. Your intensity levels start to drop in the gym. That's as a natural lifter. Someone on maybe steroids with less receptors for cortisol, they're going to stay in a more anabolic state for ages, hence the reason why you see guys online with steroids that can train for 2 to 3 hours and do a lot of pump sets. The pump sets and the light volume sets work great for those guys, but as a natural lifter, you've got a limited time to use your glycogen fuel source before it starts to become detrimental. So, what I would recommend is progressive heavy lifting in your program. Every week, try to lift a bit more, track everything. If you're getting stronger, and you can see it on paper that you're getting stronger, you will get bigger. Your body will respond. Now, it tends to lag, maybe sometimes by 6 to 8 months. Your strength will go up, you won't see much in your body, then all of a sudden, bang! It goes out of nowhere, it gets really big, and you get really big, and the girls start, oh, you're so cute looking. So it starts getting all good.
Oh my God, you are sexy. So very, very sexy.
But the next side of that is, how intense are you training? Are you truly training intense? And I mean that when you ask people in training intense, you ask them how much. For example, is your last squat, the last rep you give them the squat like this? Ooh, that's me rocking it in. For intensity, for me, it should be like this. Unrock. Or, no, one more. Intensity levels. Really be truthful about yourself. You need to be intense with this shit. The intensity will get you the results. Be fucking intense. So the program is really important. With that and the food, it's probably the 2 big key components. Lift heavy for a short period of time and be intense. That's easy. 3 rules to build. Three, there you go, 3 things to build size. There, set it, there. Obviously this is for natural lifters. Any just guys out there, they're gonna have quite a different mantra. But for us naturals, that's a good point. For more details, you can go on to you can go into the www.theorksden.com for programs. You can visit me on Carl_Gibson_training on Instagram and the Orksden and Facebook, and I'm happy enough to give free advice anywhere I can. And thank you. Until next time, get big, yeah.